Hey guys, good afternoon. Welcome back to the channel, United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Hope everyone's having a good Monday afternoon so far, and hope everyone's looking forward to the rest of this brand new week in March 2023 this year. First of all, do me a massive favour for me, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. That is United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel and to the community if you are new. Remember to share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button. Remember to put that notification bell on at all times to receive dedicated content right throughout the rest of 2023 on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube for more Fortnite content, Hogwarts Legacy, Kingdom Hearts 4, FIFA 23 Career Mode, Football Manager, the new Formula 1 game, more previews and match reactions. So please subscribe to United Red Devils 20 on YouTube if you're new to the channel and community. Thank you. And good afternoon to every single one of you, and welcome to your UEFA Europa League last 16 second leg match preview for Manchester United's second leg UEFA Europa League last 16 stages game away to Spanish club Real Betis on Thursday evening. It's a 5:45 evening away kickoff in the second leg of the last 16 stages of the UEFA Europa League. Manchester United are currently 4-1 up on aggregate. Safe to say that Manchester United are theoretically through to the quarterfinals of the Europa League this season. But knowing how Manchester United basically played yesterday and the way we couldn't even dismantle a Southampton team, I'm going to be very, very unsure if Manchester United are going to be able to beat Real Betis on Thursday night. We may be 4-1 up on aggregate the way we are currently playing, but the way at the moment, Manchester United, the way our results aren't going the way in our league campaign at the moment, it does feel like the Europa League and the FA Cup has been prioritised for the rest of the season. And it does feel, in my opinion, that, the Europa League has become an important part for Manchester United to win this trophy this season. We are 4-1 up on aggregate, but theoretically we should be in that quarter-final draw on Friday afternoon, and hopefully Manchester United don't go and blow a 4-1 lead on aggregate away to Real Betis. Manchester United theoretically should still win this game, but I'm not going to beat around the bush about anything. Manchester United were dreadful yesterday. There was no excuses for the ball crap and their pathetic excuse of performance that those Manchester United fans and supporters witnessed yesterday. I don't want to see a repeat of that performance on Thursday night. Manchester United really need to start stepping up to the plate. And I feel like this football club has got an important task of giving an apology for yesterday's awful and dreadful performance at home to Southampton, which we should have won. There's still no excuses from yesterday, and I want to see a bounce-back ability from Manchester United on Thursday night. I want to see this team win. I want to go to Betis and get the result, and I want to be in that quarter-final draw on Friday afternoon. We are 4-1 up aggregate. Theoretically, we are through to the quarterfinals. I can't see deep down Real Betis coming back from a 4-1 aggregate defeat. Second leg is going to be important for Betis to find the first goal. But knowing Manchester United at the moment, we do concede a lot of goals. We are failing to keep clean sheets. And the way our midfield and our attack are not converting the chances that are given to them in a game of 90 minutes, it wouldn't surprise me if Manchester United were to bottle this on Thursday night and we were to go crashing out of the Europa League. We can't afford this to happen. We have to win this game and we have to get through to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. It's important that we win the European trophy. It's important for Manchester United to be back in the UEFA Champions League next season. And hopefully this football club can end another trophy drought of 6 years. Obviously, winning the Carabao Cup was an important message for Erik ten Hag's side. But I want some kind of response after what I had to witness yesterday. It simply wasn't good enough. Manchester United were dreadful. And in my opinion, if we do lose this game on Thursday, and Real Betis are going to give us the game, they do convert a lot of their chances. They do score a lot of goals. But at the moment, Real Betis have got a severe injury crisis in their team. They've lost a lot of their players for the game on Thursday night. And Manchester United, I feel, will have the opportunity to go away to Spain and beat Real Betis. But at home for Real Betis, the crowd atmosphere, they always seem to get the crowd on their side. And I feel like, Manchester United need to respond from Sunday because yesterday was simply not good enough. I want to start seeing those players step up to the plate. And I want good results from this team of players because at the moment, we can't keep settling on our laurels. We can't keep affording for Manchester United to drop any more silly points. And I do not want to be sat here with an embarrassing result when we don't beat Betis on Thursday night. Manchester United have to win. It's simple as that. They surely cannot blow a 4-1 aggregate lead to Real Betis away in Spain Thursday, but anything's possible. There's a lot of issues at Manchester United at the moment. I felt like yesterday was a massive missed opportunity for Manchester United to theoretically clinch UEFA Champions League football for next season. But, United need to step up now. It's important that football club decide that, what are we prioritising for this season? What's the target? What is the ambition? And what is the ultimate goal for this football club to get over the line? For me, it's winning trophies, and it's winning a European trophy to add to the Carabao Cup success this season. The Europa League has probably become the United's most important part of their season. And I feel like, it will be important for Manchester United now to go to Spain away on Thursday night and beat Real Betis in the second leg. I think we'll win. I think we'll get the win on aggregate. And I feel like Manchester United will have to keep a clean sheet, because one or two early goals from Real Betis, the nerves and anxiety will start setting in. You can see at Manchester United at the moment, we are still letting teams attack us on the counter-attack. And I feel like Real Betis, it's going to be a completely different atmosphere, a different opposition from the home game in the first leg. And I feel like the Real Betis fans will be on the backs of the Man United players. And I feel like those Man United players have got to take all that in and control their nerve and their own ability to produce another fantastic result in Europa League. Because if I'm going to be honest, we have been quite good in Europa League this season. We are knocking out a lot of the Spanish clubs, but I want to see Manchester United be given a real test to see how far they can go in Europa League. But the kinder the draws, the better for this football club, because, we want to win the Europa League this season. And I feel like if we can win Europa League, obviously it guarantees UEFA Champions League football for next season. But I want to go to Betis and win. I mean, I want the players to actually show from yesterday that yesterday's result against Southampton was embarrassing. That team needs to be full strength Thursday. I wouldn't take much risk because when the first team changes, people are saying Erik ten Hag has got to rotate on Thursday night. I completely disagree with that. You should be playing your first team week in, week out in every game. You shouldn't be resting your best players and giving the fringe players another chance to prove themselves in a Manchester United shirt. But in my opinion, I feel like Man United need to do a lot better this season. And I feel like now that those players have to give some kind of response from that awful performance yesterday. There was no excuses. It's very, very down tooling again, which we did under Solskjaer and Ralf Rangnick. And is it coming back to bite Erik ten Hag now? In my opinion, it is. I feel like these players are now turning on the manager. I felt like yesterday there was no attacking threat in that team. And I felt like those players yesterday down-tooled in another winnable game that Man United should have come out with 3 points with. It wasn't good enough. It was very, very disappointing. But those players have to start stepping up now. I'm not going to take any more excuses. I'm not taking any PR bullshit. I'm not going to take any crap. And I'm not going to take any poor excuse those players seem to give for their performances. Those players need to be stepping up every game. You need to be stepping up to the mark and making a pure statement of intent that this football club is back to where it should be. We should be winning trophies. And in my opinion, this football club will get back to the top of English football. But in my opinion, if we were to go out Europa League on Thursday night, it would be nothing more than an embarrassment. It would be a disgrace. And quite frankly, it would be awful for this football club to witness. And in my opinion, if Man United don't win this game Thursday, the criticism will be directed at the players in the squad. I wouldn't put any blame on the manager. It's not Erik ten Hag's fault. But, in my opinion, he does deserve a lot better treatment than what he's getting. There's a lot of fans that are still not on the side of Erik ten Hag. There's a lot of fans out there who said he's not the great manager for Manchester United and he's just getting squeaky bum time results to produce wins in matches for Manchester United this season. But I felt like we have made a lot of progress, but it's felt like in the last 3 games against Liverpool and Betis and Southampton that all that progress seems to be dwindling away. I don't know what's going on at this football club. It does feel like, in my opinion, that, they have taken their foot off the accelerator. And I do feel like these players have decided to slow down for the last few games, even though winning games like this is an important part of winning trophies. Europa League is our only European competition we're in. It's an embarrassment playing Thursday night football. I'd rather be at Europe's top table playing Champions League football, in my opinion. But that was down to the horrific last season we saw under Ralf Rangnick. And, Erik ten Hag is having to do most of the repair work in the Europa League, where Manchester United, in my opinion, should be favourites to win this competition. I don't for anybody else. I do feel that we can see a few shock results on Thursday night, and I do expect Manchester United to win. I can't see them bottling a 4-1 win. It would be an embarrassment if we were to bottle it, because it'd be the greatest European collapse by any English football club. Nothing surprises me with Manchester United anymore. It just seems like since we've won the Carabao Cup, we've gone back into our shell and we've gone back into the same old Manchester United of old. And it simply, in my opinion, nothing seems to change. And I don't know why it doesn't seem to change. It just seems like, those players have got so used to winning a trophy again. It's like, well, we can slow down now. We don't need our foot on the accelerator all the time. Well, you do, because if you can't beat Southampton, I think Real Betis are going to be massively, massively up for this game on Thursday. And they know they can beat Manchester United. They know they can get the result. And it wouldn't surprise me if they score a few good goals, because if we were to rotate and change a lot of that team, it will come back and bite Man United on the ass very, very hard. And if you get knocked out the Europa League, the criticism that is going to be aimed at the players in that squad will be absolutely justified for bottling it, because they bottled it yesterday. And I'm still seeing too many results that are seeing bottle job players being given a chance to be in a Man United shirt, when you deep down know half these players shouldn't even be in the team in the first place. I mean, I can't understand the continuation of the usage of McTominay and Fred. I don't know why Maguire's getting in this team. I don't know why Delo, Luke Shaw are still given a chance, and I can't understand David De Gea either. For me, there needs to be a major rebuild if we win Europa League. I think we will win it. I think we will win it. Excuse for the apologies. I was up early today. I've had a lot to do, so I'm a little bit tired. I'm a little bit fatigued. So, yeah, I'm going to try and carry on with the preview as much as I can, because it is an important statement that, those players need to respond from Sunday. It wasn't good enough. And I'm still quite frankly that, if you can't beat teams like Southampton, what are the odds that Real Betis could beat Man United? I think the odds are going to be in Real Betis' hands. And I do feel like, in my opinion, that if Real Betis were to win and knock Man United out, it would be the biggest joke of all time that this football club have received the biggest beating of their year. And it would be Man United. It's typical Manchester United of old that I don't think a lot has changed. People saying this team has made a lot of progress. Yeah, by winning the Mickey Mouse Cup and not basically securing top four, that's not progress. That's failure, in my opinion. And I do feel like, we have to go away to Spain and win. We have to go to Betis ground and get the result and, build on that aggregate lead. And Man United need to start the game well, because Real Betis fans will get on the team side and they will become their 12th man and they will lead their club to victory. Away games for Man United in Spain is never easy. The Spanish clubs always seem to start well at home and they seem to give Man United a hell of a lot of problems. But I do feel like the first leg has basically proven the results already been done and sealed and delivered. I do feel like, in my opinion, there's no way Man United are going to risk a lot of rotation. And I do feel like, in my opinion, Erik ten Hag will have no choice but to go full strength, because we've got so much fatigue and so many injuries in that team at the moment. The injury list is only seeming to get bigger and bigger, and the suspensions are seeming to be piling up as well. Thank God we have got Casemiro available for Thursday night after being sent off against Southampton yesterday afternoon, because obviously he only misses the next 4 league games and the FA Cup game against Fulham, Brentford and Everton respectively. So United now need to put down a statement that, some of these performances this season haven't been what we wanted. Some of these results against some of the teams we should have beat, we haven't. And it doesn't surprise me, because the same thing happened under Erik ten Hag. It happened under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And it doesn't surprise me now that we're seeing the same results under Erik ten Hag. It's the players that are the problem. It's not the manager. Those players have got a lot of responsibility on their shoulders to produce a result for this football club. And I do feel like, in my opinion, that Man United need to step up now and beat Betis Thursday night, getting that Europa League quarter-final draw on Friday afternoon. We'll be doing a live watch-along for that also as well. Man United simply just need to step up here. There's no excuses if they don't win on Thursday. They can come out with as much PR crap as they want, but I'm not going to accept the sloppiness I saw against Southampton yesterday. We were dreadful. We were an embarrassment, and quite frankly, we were laughable to be laughed at, and we deserve the criticism and the laugh and the banter this club is getting at the moment. It just feels like, yet again, we are slipping back into our old ways, yet again, that we haven't changed. Some of these players cannot be relied on, and it doesn't surprise me. A lot of the club that was a mess under Solskjaer and Rangnick, half that club, half the squad and half these players are still here and are given too many chances to prove themselves as players. You don't need to keep rotating the squad. I completely disagree with other fans saying that you need to rotate. You can't keep playing your best team every. Well, that's what you do as a manager. You put your best team out. If you're playing a National League club in the FA Cup, you put your best team out. If you're playing a League 1 or League 2 club, you put your best team out. If you're playing a Championship club, you put your best team out. If you're playing in the Premier League, Europa League, Champions League, you play your best team. You don't give fringe players any more opportunities, because they're just proving to themselves that they are not good enough long term to be a success at this football club. And it's quite frankly, it's showing that, we are still very, very vulnerable. We've got too many players in that team that are probably going to have to start some Thursday night, because Erik ten Hag at the moment hasn't got the options available to him. He hasn't got the players, he hasn't got the squad, and he hasn't got the squad depth. He's got a lot of fatigued players, he's got a lot of injury-prone players, and unfortunately, the suspensions are piling up also. So I don't know what Erik ten Hag's meant to do with this squad in the next few matches, because he basically knows what team he's going to have to pick, because now it's about, can Man United go all the way till May with this squad and this team and keep winning trophies and titles? They've got to. Manchester United this season now have got no other choice but to keep winning on the football pitch. If Man United do not win on Thursday night, it'll be laughable. It'll be a joke. It will be an embarrassment. But they know that there is still a job to do here. There are still 90 minutes of football to play away in Spain against Real Betis. They know that they're going to be up for this. They know Betis are going to attack them. They know the vulnerability at the back Manchester United have got with Delot and Luke Shaw in the midfield, with unfortunately McTominay and Fred. So it wouldn't surprise me if Betis were to prove off an eventful shock. It wouldn't surprise me, because Man United have always got that in their DNA. They don't win one game and the next game they win. And the problem is that's what happens at this football club still. We've gone back into the old ways of win, lose or draw mentality. Manchester United really should be aiming to win every game. It's about winning at this football club. This is about delivering silverware. It's about delivering trophies. It's about getting successful once again. If you don't get successful, what are Manchester United meant to do? You can't just keep fighting for top four in Europa League every season and then falling off a cliff. You have to keep winning in this industry. Football is about being successful. All that stuff they used to tell you in school and college, that it's about the taking part that counts. Everybody's a winner. Everybody gets a gold sticker and a medal. Well, it's not necessarily true. Sport is about winning. It's about winning. It's being the best team, being out there and playing with the best players. It's about winning mentality. It's always about winning in every aspect of life. It's about winning and being the best. That all stuff they used to tell you in school and college was a load of bollocks. It's not about taking part. It's not about everybody's a winner. It's about winning on the football pitch. And that is what Man United need to do. We need to keep winning every single game now till the end of May. We've got no choice. We haven't got no option. This football club has got huge ability and potential to become great again under Erik ten Hag. He's done so many things right this season. And I think now he has to realise that, yesterday was dreadful. It is unacceptable. And basically the players didn't listen to his tactics yet again. So it shows that there's still much in his dressing room that does still need to be fished out. There's still many more problems in this team that need to be digged out the ground, because I do feel like, Real Betis are going to cause this team issues, because they caused this issue at home. So I can't see why they're not going to cause us issues away from home. So Betis know that, in their heads, it's all over. They're 4-1 down on aggregate. But if Man United collapse from this, it'll be a miracle for any Spanish club to ever do that. Barcelona have done it. Real Madrid have done it. Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs. There's so many clubs that have come back from big, heavy deficits and they've still managed to win the game and get through to the next round. And Man United can be fooled. They need to be on it from the minute one on Thursday night. They have to take the game to Betis. They need to finish the job they've already done. If we can control the first half and grab 2 early goals, it puts the pressure right back on Real Betis, because they know if Man United score early and then they score again, the Betis players knows, well, that's us out anyway. They're theoretically out, and I think that's going to be the mindset of the Betis players. We haven't got nothing to lose here. Let's try and get a good result at home, even though we're still would have got an aggregate. Let's try and produce a win for our fans to give them something to be proud of on the night after full time. But I do feel like Man United, we were so good at home in the first leg. I think all that joy and all that positivity has been completely sucked out after yesterday's result against Southampton. And that positivity and that negativity, we have to take that game into Thursday, turn that negativity into a positive and try and produce a good performance that these Man United fans are going to be proud of, because we pay so much to go and watch this club play. But when they don't win, it really fucks off your week. It fucks off your weekend. And it's not surprising that, Man United are capable of screwing up their own results. But there's no reason why not Man United cannot win this game. I want Man United to go and beat Real Betis. We need to keep winning now, because If we don't win Thursday, but we still go for an aggregate, that's only one win in our last 4. So it shows where this football club might be heading, unfortunately. Is it going to be back to the old times of, the Rangnick and the Solskjaer and the same problems that were causing the football club's issues behind the scenes, and then it all goes tits up again? It wouldn't surprise me if that was to happen, but I do feel like, in my opinion, that if Man United were to go full strength, not many people can complain about that. And there will be people saying, well, you've got to keep the squad fresh. You have to keep rotating. Well, that's not necessarily correct, because there's a lot of players in that first team who are basically have their name already on the team sheet. There's so many players in that squad that, will be in that team that will probably have to start with us, because unfortunately, Erik ten Hag hasn't got the options available to him, because Christian Eriksen is still going to be out injured for Thursday night. He's out of a serious ankle injury, so Eriksen ain't going to be back till the end of April. Donny van der Beek is out injured for the rest of the season with a severe ACL injury in his knee. Anthony Martial is still unavailable for Thursday night also as well. So there are so many players in that squad that we could have actually done at this point of time in the season. We could have done with Martial being fit and not injury prone. We could have done with having Eriksen and Donny van der Beek back in that midfield where we should be. We need that team resolved. We need that team to be back very, very quickly, because if we don't, then I do feel, in my opinion, that if we don't control the midfield and we're stuck with McTominay and Fred from Thursday onwards, I just can't see how Man United are going to win any more games. I just can't see where the results and the positivity is going to come from, because you basically have gone back to the crap that Solskjaer and Rangnick had to use. And, McTominay and Fred, they were both useless yesterday. And there's so many people applauding McTominay's performance, and it was absolutely dreadful. You're telling me that's the backup to Casemiro and Fred? It just shows that we haven't got the players that this manager wanted. And if they would have had the players he wanted, we might not have been in this situation we are in now, relying on the same fringe players that caused the issues under the last 2 managers. And Erik ten Hag is probably scratching heads thinking, bloody hell, we couldn't even beat Southampton yesterday. So I feel like, ten Hag is going to have to tell the players, this is the law here. This is about winning. If you want to be part of the project and part of this football club, and you don't want to be here, then out the door we go, because I don't want to give any more second chance FC. This isn't, give everybody a chance. Let's play our reserve players. No, I completely disagree, because if you rely on the players like Maguire and McTominay and Fred and Elanga, Weghorst, Dalot, Luke Shaw and De Gea Thursday night, I can see Man United getting absolutely hammered, because at the moment it's showing that we're so vulnerable in our games. It just seems that there's a life of energy has just been sucked out this football club, and it doesn't surprise me, because this is the season we are in. We are playing 3 games every single fucking week, and we don't get a break. And I think, for me, in my opinion, it's an absolute joke that we don't have a break from any competitive football, because the fatigue is setting in at this football club. The injuries are getting worse. The suspensions are piling up, and Man United just sat there scratching their head thinking, what team can we go out with? What team can we possibly use for the game? Well, we haven't got a team. We haven't hardly got any other players. So people can say, well, you're going to have to rotate to keep the squad fresh. Well, no, that ain't going to work, because if you were to rest half that team from Sunday's game yesterday for Thursday night, Manchester United will get found out very, very quickly. We are very, very vulnerable still. We are vulnerable in the counter-attack. We are vulnerable in midfield. We are vulnerable in the defence. And the problem is, all that was looking so secure the other night, and now it's just feeling like, we've gone back to being the same old Man United again, when you're having to use the players that ten Hag deep down probably doesn't want to use. I wouldn't risk hardly changing that team from Sunday. The only changes I would probably make, that Fred's got to come out and Weghorst has got to come out as well, and drop Sancho back into the attack and not in the midfield, because clearly that didn't work yesterday. And that's the problem. If you're playing players out of position, which I can't understand why we're still doing that, because if Bruno Fernandes is a midfielder, you don't put him on the right wing. If Jadon Sancho is a left wing and a right winger, you don't put him in midfield. So I can't understand why we are still operating under that same B-Tech approach from playing players that are not comfortable in that position. You need to put them in their best position that they're going to fulfill their potential for the whole 90 minutes. And the problem is, that is why we didn't get going yesterday. And that was the problem on the first leg. We started so well in the first 6 minutes by grabbing Rashford's first goal in the night. And then problem is we then sat back and let Real Betis attack us because simply we didn't take the opportunities that we had and got right in front of our own eyes, in front of the opposition's goal. We didn't take our chances, and Betis went out the other end, equalised. It was 1-1 on aggregate so far, and then we ended up finding another 3 goals just to finish the job in the second half. And I think Man United are going to have to change their approach Thursday. I feel like, in my opinion, we are going to have to go into the game all guns blazing. They know there is still a job to do because if Betis do grab 2 goals, that's 4-3 on aggregate, 2-0 down on the night. Man United are going to have to sit there thinking, right, we've conceded 2 early goals. It's now 4-3 on aggregate. We were basically through anyway with a 4-1 lead. And you've conceded 2 stupid, sloppy goals. And you've given Betis a chance to get level on aggregate, which will then head into extra time and potentially the horrifying outcome of penalties. No one wants that on Thursday night. I don't want that. You don't want that. None of us fans want to see this game go any further than 90 minutes, but it wouldn't surprise me if a shock result was to happen because I can't trust at the moment. My trust and my loyalty to these players is completely gone because of the last few results. We've simply not been anywhere near again. And long term, that's worrying the shit out of me because if we'd gone back to what we did under Mourinho, win 2 trophies in 1 season, and then the season after he was sacked, it doesn't surprise me because this is the same football club that let down manager after manager and ended up all being sacked because of that squad and because of those players. So those players now need to say to themselves, right, we've not been good enough the last few games. We've been 1 win in 3 isn't acceptable. We should be winning every game, and that's what we should be aiming to do, is that we win every single game that we compete in. It's about winning. It's about beating the opposition team. Man United need to step up on Thursday and show that they've got the credentials of being loyalty towards the football club, and they're loyal to the fans and supporters of Manchester United as well because they're representing us on the field. They're representing us on the turf. So there's no reason why not Man United cannot get a very, very good convincing win. I still think we'll win and score another 2 or 3 goals because the problem with Real Betis is they conceded so many goals from the back 4. We were ripping them to shreds because they're in a pub league with Barcelona and Real Madrid where no one else could compete with them. And Real Betis and probably Atletico Madrid at a push and Real Sociedad are probably the backups to those teams because they know they haven't got the players. They know they haven't got what we've got. And that's the problem with the Liga. The Real Betis are in a pub league because, they know the biggest threats are Real Madrid and FC Barcelona. They can't compete with the likes of Premier League. They can't compete with Man United. And that was the whole issue in the first leg. When we attacked Betis, they simply couldn't cope. And we have to do that again. We need to grab a good early goal, make it 5-1 aggregate, go and grab the second. The job is done. 2-0 win on the night, 5-6-1 win on aggregate. United through to the quarterfinals of Europa League. We have to go full strength. That is De Gea in goal. It's Wan-Bissaka, Varane and Martinez and Malacia. Sabitzer has to come back in. Fred and Casemiro and Fernandes have to start. And for Weghorst, please drop him out the team. I clearly said he wasn't the option. And yesterday, yet again, he basically showed that he can't do the job of a striker and put the ball in the net. And there is your big, big problem at the moment. We are lacking goals in that team because Weghorst, the BFG's big best friend in the Iron Giant, is basically Weghorst, and you're basically relying on an ex-Burnley reject to get you the goals that this club needs. It's simply, so far, 2 goals in 10 games is not convincing. It's not acceptable. And Man United basically down tools in January and basically said to Ten Hag, we've got your players. What are you moaning at? Stop criticising. Stop moaning at us. We've got you 3 new players in January. Yeah, but I can guarantee you none of those players would have been available in January if Man United would have actually had money in their pocket. But instead of, using the same old excuse that the Man United do, they underlined and wiped off another season. So it doesn't surprise me if we keep picking up injuries. It wouldn't surprise me if we keep picking up suspensions. And I wouldn't be surprised by May this team is on its knees, and by the next season we're worn out already, and we're nowhere near the level again. And it wouldn't surprise me that because that's the egos and the personality of some of these Man United players. They deep down know some of them aren't good enough, and they're too afraid to call each other out of their own game. And I think yesterday, apart from Weghorst, that is probably Manchester United's best starting 11. In my opinion, but we clearly are missing a back four and we're clearly missing a midfield, and personally, we are missing an attack. How you can play Sancho in the midfield, it makes no bloody sense. Please do not do that Thursday. It made no sense from the whole game yesterday that he was simply dreadful in that midfield position. Playing him at number 10 with Fernandes, it clearly didn't work because you knew Sancho was going to get absolutely swamped by the Southampton players. And then the problem is we then couldn't get the ball quick enough through to our front three in Anthony, Rashford and Weghorst. And that was the problem. We couldn't find the ball to our front three enough, and we couldn't create the chances and opportunity we needed on the Southampton goal. And it didn't happen yesterday. And that is the problem going forward for Thursday. I think it's about time this manager realised that he has got a lot of shit players in this team. He has to realise that a lot of this team shouldn't even be in a Man United shirt. And half this team, in my opinion, does need to be sold in the summer. I realistically would sell 15 to 16 of these players. I would have a massive clear out, and then I would sign 18 to 20 brand new players in the summer. I think Man United are going to have to do that. And people could say, well, that's ludicrous, that's laughable. It's not, because if Chelsea can spend what the fuck they want in the summer, so can Man United. And that has to be under the new Qatari ownership. And, I'm hoping we go with a good team that we don't. What I'm worried about is if we rest too much of the first team and we go with the fringe players, it's going to cost us badly. Betis will score a few early goals. They'll get an equaliser. This goes to extra time. That 4-1 lead on aggregate has been wiped out. And we're going to extra time and then potential penalties. We go out the Europa League, we're laughed at and embarrassed again 2 games in a row. And then you've got to try and find a positive for Man United to be able to say, well, we tried, but we gave it all, but it simply backfired. Well, the problem is, if you do use any of the fringe players on Thursday, this will backfire. We'll be out the Europa League and the fingers will be pointed. It wouldn't surprise me, because this is Manchester United after all. They give players opportunity to prove themselves. Every time they're given an opportunity, they blow it and we're laughed at and we're disgraced again. Another good result that's been taken away from a positive win for this football club. So Sancho has to go back on the wing. Rashford has to be played up front. Anthony has to be put up front as well on the right wing. And we need Sabitzer, Eriksen, Donny van der Beek back in, and we need Martial. Sabitzer has to be in that team Thursday. We are missing his midfield presence. We are missing his midfield quality that he's got in his game. On a season-long loan deal from Bayern Munich, everybody was basically applauding Man United for actually going and getting a decent midfielder when we needed one. And I think at the moment we are lost without midfield because we haven't got Sabitzer, we haven't got Eriksen, we haven't got Donny van der Beek. And unfortunately, when you're stuck with Fred and McTominay, results aren't going to go well. The midfield will lose the battle. And the midfield will crumble very, very quickly away. And the problem is, if Sabitzer doesn't get any game time, are Man United going to make it a permanent signing in the summer? I've absolutely no idea if they're going to make it a permanent summer signing. I think they're going to have to, because he's got a lot of midfield quality that it showed in the last 2-3 games that, we're missing that. You can't trust Fred. McTominay ain't no good. And the problem is when you've got Eriksen and Donny van der Beek, your first team choice starters in that midfield, the midfield is basically on its knees, and it doesn't surprise me why Man United end up losing so many games and dropping too many silly points. And that is the problem going for Thursday. You can't keep affording to start players in the wrong positions and playing them out of their favoured position that they like to be in, because if you play in Sancho midfield, it showed yesterday it didn't work. If you put in Weghorst up front, it clearly showed it didn't work. I think Garnacho has to come back in, and hopefully that ankle injury he's got isn't too serious that he's going to put him out for a while. I think Rashford has got to start finding some form again. I don't understand what is going on with Marcus Rashford's form again. I think Anthony really needs to start stepping up as well again, because yesterday again was dreadful. I feel like Fernandes needs to lead that team out again on Thursday as captain. Casemiro, thank God we actually have got him available for Thursday, because I do feel like if Casemiro was unavailable for Thursday, I do not see how we win this game, because, Casemiro, took a bloody risk yesterday again. It's his second red card since he's been at his club. He's missing the next 4 games apart from Thursday. So it shows that we do need a decent CDM backup signing to Casemiro, because we don't have one. And unfortunately, it's the same problem that we don't have the players for backup decent options to replace the players either injured or suspended through suspension. So Casemiro will have to start, Sabitzer will have to start as well, and so will Fernandes. I think the back four has got to change as well. You don't take Varane and Martinez out. They have to keep playing at centre-back together. You can't afford to be starting Maguire and Lindelof up front because you've basically got Magaluf causing the same issues when basically all the ability they've got is opening a fridge together. And I feel like, yet again, yesterday, Wan-Bissaka was very, very good. Wan-Bissaka has to keep starting at right back for me. I do agree with a lot of people's opinions that I would rather keep Wan-Bissaka over Diego Dalot. I've said this about Dalot. He's never, ever going to be the right back we all want. People say, no, he's the next Rafael De Silva. He's the next Gary Neville. I completely and utterly disagree. This signing under Mourinho should have never, ever been allowed to happen. And that is the problem at this football club. We've allowed to go and buy players we didn't want, and the manager wants them. And then a few seasons later, they're then sold by a new manager, and we then have to go and reinvest in that position. And I feel like, in my opinion, that has to be the resolve in the summer. And I feel like some of these players need to be told Thursday that, some of you aren't in the plans for the summer. Some of you are not in the plans for next season, and I'm not going to use you. And I think Ten Hag needs to put down the law now that he needs to realise that there's so much crap in that team that played yesterday that it cost us the result. And I don't want players like that costing us results anymore, because if you're starting Luke Shaw at left back again, yet again, yesterday was completely and utterly wasteful, completely and utterly shit. And unfortunately, Luke Shaw going forward is a concern. Takes corners from the left and the right side of the penalty area. Can't put a decent ball into the box. Can't take on the defensive back for the opposition team. Can't put a cross into the box. Can't tackle. Can't run. It's got no speed. It's got no agility. And Luke Shaw gets found out very, very quickly because his game has become so vulnerable that we are in the same situation again with Manchester United. And it doesn't surprise me that we do get in this position. We are the same club as usual, relying on the crap that was not deserving a chance. And I feel like Malacia has to be coming back into that team. Why players like Malacia and Garnacho don't seem to start, it completely and utterly bewilders me, because they're two of Manchester United's best players. I think both of them this season have been a massive, massive upgrade on Luke Shaw and players like Sancho and Weghorst. And I do feel like, in my opinion, if they're not going to get used, what is the point of them being at this football club? And if Erik ten Hag does rotate and he rotates heavily, I think this will backfire very, very quickly. And like I said, Real Betis will get the goals they need, and they'll find some kind of result to beat this football club and get through to the quarterfinals. But Man United know that the job is basically done. No one's going to come back from a 4-1 aggregate defeat. But at the moment, the way we played yesterday, and we played like that again on Thursday, I just think we're just going to get found out very quick. If we don't start well in the game, and we're not able to control the midfield, and we're basically letting Real Betis attack us, the only thing Man United will do is play Real Betis on the counter-attack and try and sneak a lucky goal. But we need to be full-out attack at the moment. And the problem is we have to keep playing the ball backwards. We need to be pestering the opposition's goal with every single chance we've got with the ball, because if we don't, it will show that, Real Betis will deflect it, they'll block the shot, and because we've pushed so many players up forward, at the back we'll simply have no other players there to be able to control a Real Betis player from putting the ball actually in the net. And it will show that, this football club's vulnerability is there at the back, it is there in midfield, and it is there in attack. If players do not do their job on Thursday and we do go out the Europa League, it does need to start turning into question time from the BBC, that these players' questions timed at this football club needs to be questioned. If some of these players are going to continue to be letting down this team, they either need to be suspended or put into the under-21s for the rest of the season and not be used. Because if I manage Man United, players like McTominay and Fred don't feature for me. Maguire and Lindelof, they're not on that bench. Alanga, Weghorst, they don't play under me. They're not my players. We need to stop being brutal and honest. I mean, honesty is always the best policy. And never stop telling yourself that honesty is always the best policy. And I'm going to tell you how it is. Man United should be acting better as a football club. And I want a response from Thursday. I want to see us win and play well. I want to see some good attacking football. I want to be able to go away to Real Betis, shut the Betis fans up, and win the game comfortably. I want us to be in that quarterfinal draw Friday. Imagine if we're not. Imagine if we do actually go out. Imagine how much laughing we're going to get at us. Can you imagine how much banter this club will get if we don't find a result from somewhere? And Man United should find a result. I'm not saying we're not going to not win this game. There is a huge opportunity for these players to show up to the challenge, show they're there to be, to be questioned. These players should be, up for the game, and hopefully they will show their credentials Thursday and prove a point that they should have won at the weekend. It was no excuses not to beat Southampton. But, if we lose any more people to suspension, injury, or bookings or red cards and everything, I don't see how this team's going to have a team left, because the squad's already thin as it is. And if we do go full strength, people can't complain about that. And if people are saying, you've got to rotate, please don't listen to that, because that is just agenda basically being putting on the manager pressure to basically rotate the team. You don't rotate the team if you've got better players than some of the crap this squad's got. You have to be brutal at this club. You have to be open and honest and brutal and faithful. You have to be giving the best players every game they want. You don't use the fringe players if they're not good enough. You don't keep rotating the squad if the players you've got available as backups aren't good enough. You leave them on the bench to rot. You put them in the under-21s. I am not giving any of these fringe players any more chances, because they tried to show they had a chance yesterday and they kept blowing it. So it doesn't surprise me that we did beat Southampton, but I'm just hoping, Eric Ten Hag's sense of, you have to play full strength team Thursday. Do not use players that you can't trust or you don't want in this team, because they will throw you under the bus. They will down tools and they will cause you the same problems that happened under Ralph Rangnick and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Real Betis are going to be a tough team to beat away from home. They are going to be up for the game. They ain't got nothing to lose mentality. So, Real Betis are going to be cooking on gas. They know that the occasion is going to be massive, because Real Betis fans haven't seen Man United at their ground for, God knows how many years. So the Betis fans will be on the side of leading their Betis team on, and it wouldn't surprise me that they find a way of beating Man United, and it would be embarrassing if we were to lose. It would be, quite frankly, awful, and in my opinion, that we would deserve a response of why Man United have bottled such a commanding lead on aggregate. But I can see it being the same scoreline, in my opinion. I do feel like, there's going to be so many goals this team can bag on Thursday. We scored a lot of them goals at home to them, so there's no reason why not Man United do not win this game. It should be a comfortable night for Manchester United. We should find the goals, we should find the result, and we should increase the aggregate lead of 4-1. And, hopefully Man United will put in a performance that, can be a statement of, we weren't good enough at the weekend, but Thursday we go again, and we will start pushing a lot better than what we did on Sunday evening against Southampton. We will show you what we're made of. We'll show you what we can do on and off the pitch. And we'll show you that, this team is with the manager. We are playing for the manager. We are playing for the fans. We are playing for the supporters. We respect you, and we are playing for the badge, and we are playing for the shirt. But this team has to prove a point now for me, because the last few results has just been dreadful. I'm not getting excited about Man United at the moment, because the momentum was just killed from Sunday. We should have won yesterday, and that's what's raining on me. We should have won yesterday, but I don't understand why now we haven't beaten teams we should have beaten. This is the same problem again, that if we had the players we wanted in the summer in January, this team would not have an issue. And the problem is this team has got too many issues, and I feel sorry for the manager. It ain't the manager's fault. It's down to the lazy board and the lazy, arrogant owners that this football club has got in Manchester United. Not enough is being done, and that's why half the problems on the pitch are caused, because of owners and board that have no clue how to run a football club properly and have no clue how to infrastructure the proper running of a football club on a daily basis. And if we do lose half this team for end of May, that is down again to the really bad, poor ownership and bad recruitment that this club has been called up on. But, let's hope we win on Thursday night. Let's hope we can win the second leg, and let's hopefully see if Man United can get their asses into gear Thursday, show a performance we can be proud of, win the game, and get a good win on aggregate, and hopefully we'll be in that quarter-final draw for the Europa League on Friday afternoon of this week. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to hit the like button, hit the share button. Please subscribe to United Red Devils 20. If you are new to the channel and to the community, then to share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button. Remember to put that notification bell at all times to receive dedicated content right throughout the rest of 2023 on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. We've got more Fortnite content coming: Hogwarts Legacy, Kingdom Hearts 4, FIFA 23 career modes of LAFC, Salford City and Manchester United. We have also got Formula 1 2023, more previews, more match reactions, and enjoy the rest of your Monday afternoon. Stay safe, be nice, and be kind to each other. And obviously, then Please join me for the match reaction Thursday night, which hopefully is a Manchester United win. We get through to the Europa League quarterfinals. We'll be on that live watch-along draw for the quarterfinal draw Friday afternoon. And obviously, go and check out my other socials as well. We're now on TikTok, we're now on Twitter, so go and check both of them out as well. Enjoy the rest of your Friday and Monday afternoon. Join me for the match reaction Thursday night, which hopefully we'll see Manchester United in Europa League quarterfinal draw on Friday afternoon, which we'll do the live watch-along for. Let's try and get this team back to winning ways on Thursday, because the last few results have just been pants, and it has been really, really embarrassing to watch what this team is having to bloody go for at the moment. But it doesn't surprise me that when you don't back a manager, the same shit happens from the two previous managers. So let's hope those players can step up Thursday and actually get the win we all want, be in the quarterfinals of the Europa League, and hopefully we can go and win another 2 trophies by winning the FA Cup and Europa League. We're not winning the Premier League. Everybody needs to get that fairy tale dream out of their heads. It's not going to happen. Go and check out my other socials, Twitter and TikTok. Enjoy the rest of your Monday afternoon. Stay safe, be nice, be kind to each other. Speak to you guys Thursday evening. Thanks for watching.